number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. It is an open line hour from now till 11 o'clock, 989-752-6111. Whatever you'd like to chat about, here's your opportunity. Give us a call. You just heard in the news the battle between the Attorney General and the Republicans in the House about leftover funds from the 2025 budget, totaling $645 million. The Republicans say that under a rarely used state law, they can veto the funds that were not spent and not roll them over. The Whitmer administration says, no, that's not constitutional, according to the Attorney General. To me, this is a problem in government today. The way money is spent. To me, if there was $645 million in unspent money at the end of the budget period, how about you give it back to the taxpayers? How about you just don't approve it? Now, if that money is for legitimate purposes, then in the next budget you can add it back into the budget. But it shouldn't be an automatic rollover. I just don't believe in that. I'm a fan of zero-based budgeting, which they don't do. Most government agencies, they have a budget. Let's say that budget's, I'll just pick a number. Let's say they have $1 billion budget. But at the end of the fiscal year, they've only spent $990 million of it instead of the entire billion. Before that year's over, they will figure a way to go out and spend that money, whether they needed it or not, so that they don't get dinged in the next budget. And I don't believe in that. I believe in zero-based budgeting. Start from zero and justify to me why you need $1 billion. I mean, if you could prove you need $990 million, fine. That's not a problem. But don't tell me you need $1 billion when you only need $990. And if you don't spend it all, thank you. Good for the taxpayers. So I'm a fan of zero-based budgeting, which apparently they've not heard of in legislatures and Congress. Every one of these agencies, they spend up to the limit just so they make sure they don't lose anything in the next budget, even if they didn't need it. So I just had to put my 2 cents in. Oh, that's right. I can't do that anymore. Now I have to put a nickel in because the pennies are gone. Oh, well. You know what I mean. I'm sure you get the picture. I'm sure you figured out what I'm talking about. 989-752-6111. That is the number to call. We're going to go to West Branch and talk to Craig this morning. Craig, good morning.
How are you, Art?
Doing well, thanks. Hope you are.
I'm involved in county government up here.
All right.
And there has been years that fund balances have come up in different lines of business. And every year we take a look at millages and make choices on whether or not we will levy the whole millage or a partial of it.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, through the COVID years, and I'm not going to debate COVID, but through the COVID years, there was a lot of different money that wasn't spent on projects. Anything that did to do with, personal items would not be spent, and it was person-to-person interactions and things like that. So then we made the decision to cut back on the millages for those type of things.
Yeah, for that period of time.
Right. Well, for the next year.
Right.
So
yeah.
we don't collect as much into the next year. We're going to use the fund balance that's left over from the year before.
Exactly. But there,
Okay.
but you in one way or another gave the taxpayer the relief.
Right. Because the next year we would not bill them as much
Correct.
on the millage because we used the fund balance that was there. So it can happen at the local level. I can't speak for the state or the feds. And I can tell you that I'm not going to further my political future into the state or the federal area.
Let me ask, Greg, let me ask you this. The county, you said county, right? Or you city?
Yes.
County.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
County.
So the county has a budget. And let's say that the XYZ commission of the county was budgeted $500 million. If they don't spend all that money at the end of the year, what happens in next year's budget? Do you start all over? Or do they try and spend every nickel just so they don't get dinged the next time around?
Oh, no. And I can tell you that when I first started, that was what I heard from a lot of different department heads is, I need to spend this money or you won't give it back to me next year. No, that's not true at all. That is not true.
Good.
Somebody's brother's uncle told them that, and that is not always true. Now, it can be. I came in with the idea of, I'll set you a budget, and if you can save me 5%, I'll give you the same budget next year. If you can't save me 5%, I'll make you cut you back 5%.
Yeah.
Now, that was an idea that I had when I first got there, and not knowing a lot of things. I don't think I'd say that now, but I look at it that way. There's not really a mechanism to hand the money back. You know, it comes in, millages, of course, are based on valuations. It would be, we'd be hiring people to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not cost effective. So what we can do is we can ratchet back those millages, and usually it's in special funds.
Yeah,
not
that's
non-general fund.
And that's a direct benefit to the taxpayer.
Right.
So that's wonderful.
Exactly.
I mean, that's wonderful.
And I think that happens in a lot of communities, but people just don't realize it.
Well, I hope it does.
They don't see the difference. They don't see the difference on their tax bill.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have very low assessment, you're not going to see a big difference.
No, but you know, the thing is,
it might have been $34 difference over last year.
The thing is, it might be easier for you to do that on a local level. They don't do that in Lansing.
No. Well, the funding comes in differently.
Yeah, there's a lot more of it, but they spend a
thing.
lot more too.
Well, there's a lot of different funding sources coming in, local, state, and federal. People don't realize that. It isn't all income taxes. It isn't all. There's just so many different streams of revenue.
I get the question is, it doesn't matter where that stream of revenue comes from, except the federal usually comes in with all kinds of limitations on how you can spend it. The bigger question is, if a state agency at the end of the year hasn't spent their entire budget, is it fair for them to run out and spend it just so they don't lose it next year? I say no.
No, it isn't.
But that's what they do.
No, but you just touched on a very key point about how does the revenue stream get to you, and it doesn't have to be spent in a certain way. Yes.
Oh yeah, federal certainly.
Local government. If it comes in on a certain millage, it has to be spent for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It cannot be just spent for anything.
Certainly.
And for everybody out there that wanted money to be just spent every which way, there was another whole group of people that went to the government and said, "No, you can't do that."
Yep.
We've had a number of grants in our area, sizable grants for sizable projects, and people go, "Well, they should spend the money on something else." They can't.
No, you can't. It's
it has
limited.
to be spent for that.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's like the ARPA funds. You had to designate
Right.
them, and they got to be spent, and they had to be spent by a certain date.
Well, not at first, but
Yeah,
and
well,
that was different. Well, the way that cities and townships handled ARPA funds came from the state. The counties come from the federal government, so there are different rules.
yep.
So a lot of times, money comes in from different things that the rules they give the money out before they write the rules. So
Whoops.
yeah, it gets kind of
Yeah, I hear you.
thin. Yeah.
Well,
so
listen.
sometimes you hesitate to spend money waiting to hear about the rule.
Well, Craig, I appreciate the insight.
Sure, Art.
I'm
You
glad,
bet.
glad you
Have a
called.
good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Craig up in West Branch, county official. Thanks for that understanding. We appreciate it. Lines open for you, 989-752-6111.
There's going to be one day this winter that
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Art Lewis Show with open phones this hour. As you know, the penny has gone away officially, but you can still spend it, although some places are asking for round up and round down. But there's a whole new set of coins coming. There's going to be 7 new ones this year. They relate pretty much to the 250th anniversary being celebrated this year of the Declaration of Independence. And among the coins, the very first one was a quarter featuring the Mayflower Compact. That started actually on Monday of this week. It became available. It depicts 2 pilgrims, a man and a woman, embracing under a banner that reads E Pluribus Unum, translating, of course, to out of many, one. 7 new coins total. The other quarter coins slated for circulation: a Revolutionary War quarter, a Declaration of Independence quarter, a U.S. Constitution quarter, and a Gettysburg Address quarter. There are 7 in total, and they will be available through the U.S. Mint. I imagine at some point they'll be available through coin dealers too. But I peruse the U.S. Mint site just for the fun of it. You can buy coins from very few dollars all the way up to 10,000 almost for gold coins and sets. So it's pretty amazing what's out there if you really want to have gold. Be prepared with the price of gold now close to $5,000. Stuff's expensive. Holidays this year. Guess what? We're going to get a bunch of Friday, Saturday holidays, which gives you at least a 3-day weekend. Many of the holidays and celebrations will take place on Fridays and Saturdays this year. So here's a list. Valentine's, the first one was Galentine's Day. I have no idea what that is. It's a Friday the 13th. Valentine's Day, Saturday the 14th. Juneteenth is Friday, June 19th. Independence Day is Saturday, July 4th. And because it's on a weekend, July 3rd is considered a federal holiday, Friday. Halloween is Saturday, October 31st. Christmas is Friday, December 25th. And, of course, Juneteenth, Independence Day, and Christmas are all federal holidays, creating at least 3-day weekends. Another celebration that falls conveniently, Cinco de Mayo in 2026, May 5th, is on a Tuesday, giving Taco Tuesday lovers another reason to celebrate. But if you're superstitious, Friday the 13th will also occur in February, March, and November. Look out. On June 20th, the date will be a palindrome, 6/20/2026, meaning it will read the same backwards and forwards, which it does. Finally, New Year's Eve will fall on a Thursday, December 31st. January 1st, considered a federal holiday, falls on a Friday. So 2027 will start off with a long weekend. So if you're into holidays, it'll be an interesting year to celebrate. A lot of Saturday holidays. Another thing to look back on. The auto industry had a pretty good year, actually. 2025 was not a bad year for the automakers. It was a banner sales year. Despite sticker prices going up, interest rates going up, tariffs on imported cars and parts, the auto industry had a banner year. In fact, it was so good that a couple of days ago, the White House touted the fact that U.S. vehicle sales rose by 2.4%, which it said was the industry's strongest performance since 2019, and evidence that tariffs had not made cars more expensive. I don't know about that. All that says to me is people were willing to buy cars and maybe in mind getting in before the tariffs hit. So let's take a look at the top 10 by sales. And these are from manufacturers who have reported their full year sales figures for last year. Number 1, General Motors, with sales of 2,850,000 vehicles. And the best-selling, Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra pickups. Number 2, Ford, reporting 2025 sales of 2,147,811 vehicles. And guess what the best-selling vehicle was? Their F-Series pickups, which has been the strongest contender forever. Number 3 was Toyota. They say they had the same number of vehicles as Ford, 2,147,811, and their RAV4 was their number 1 vehicle. Number 4 was Tesla, 1,636,129 vehicles, and the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling Tesla. Honda was next with 1,430,057, with the Honda CR-V being the biggest seller. Then came Stellantis with 1,260,344, and the Ram light-duty pickup was number 1. Nissan had sales of 926,153, and the Nissan Rogue was the best-selling. Hyundai was 8th with 901,686, and the Hyundai Tucson was number 1, followed by Kia with sales of 852,155. The Kia Sportage was number 1, and in 10th place was Volkswagen, sales of 329,813. The Volkswagen Tiguan was the best seller. And these, of course, don't include all manufacturers because not all of them submitted their sales numbers for the year. Let's see here. Let's talk to Joe in Bay City before I have to take a break here. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How you doing today?
Doing well. Hope you are.
All right. I am. So far, so good.
Good.
It's so early, though. Anything can happen. Let's go with a couple quick hitters here. I'll start off with Minnesota and on the situation there. I know the first video I looked at, I didn't see any activity at all that she hit anybody. But the first video was tricky because the one she actually hit was hidden behind the first guy. And when they show the second video, she's the one, or he's the one that got nicked. Yep. And he's the one that shot at her. But the first video didn't show that at all because the second guy was blocked by the first guy.
Yep.
So she did hit him, and whether it was an accident or otherwise, she was going that way. And unfortunately, I hate to see those things happen. But in my opinion, I'm surprised that things like this haven't happened already. I mean, ICE has really, really constrained themselves over a lot of bad situations.
Yeah.
And I give it up to every one of them for, going out there and putting up with that crap they have to put up with.
Yeah, they're
It's
actually
terrible.
seeing their recruiting has increased. I mean, more and more people are signing up to be ICE agents.
Yeah, well, you know what, Art? I think, once Trump got reelected, and besides that, the military decided, he said no more of that DEI crap. And in the military, for the first time, I think it was in 4 or 5 years, they're beyond their recruitment wishes this year. And I think there's a lot of guys out there, maybe a few women, but mostly guys, that want to be in the military but didn't want to put up with that crap that was in the military. Mm-hmm. And same with ICE, And you got a leader like that, Tom Homan. I mean, boy, what a guy! I mean, I just love to listen to him when he talks to him.
Yeah, pull any punches.
That's
Okay.
right, no BS there.
And what's the other one?
The second one is, and this is nothing that's happened yet, but that very well could happen on the world stage. Now that Venezuela hopefully will be back to where they were years ago, and I think they will be because they were a democratic country and they were very well off. That if things would fall into place, if Iran, if the people, they're rising up now, and now is a golden opportunity for them to finally, say we've had enough. And let's say they do, and let's say Cuba does the same thing, and China gets their oil from Venezuela and Iran, and guess what? All of a sudden, Iran oil isn't going to China, and so, I mean, this is all because of Trump's actions.
Yeah.
And I will say this: you had a caller called in the other day, and he couldn't call Trump clown too often. Every other word was clown. He was a clown. And I'll say this: Trump's doing a pretty doggone thing for being a clown.
Yeah. Well, I think the one to watch right now, to me, the one to watch is Cuba, because they're already in budget problems and financial problems, and their oil all came from Venezuela. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Cuba. But I also will tell you, I do not want to see us do this all over the world. I don't want to see us in any other countries doing what we did in Venezuela. I think Venezuela, there was a purpose. He was indicted. We snatched a potential felon. Is the way I look at him.
That's right.
But I don't want to see us go marching into any other country and doing that, and I don't want to see us try and take over Greenland. I think we got enough to worry about here. We don't need to worry about those things.
Yeah, I think Greenland is, for Trump to even suggest that is pretty stupid. And, I think if they came up with a financial package for Greenland and Denmark, he could get everything he wanted just do a financial package.
If he can negotiate it, that's one thing.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I got to run.
And I think, okay, all right. We have a
Take
great
care,
day.
buddy. You too. Bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Let me ask how your sleep was last night. Today, we're asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Now, your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but you can still get quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them online at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 1935.
Jeff Gronsky here.
Shown me. I don't know what happened before. It's a tragedy either way. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, nobody wants to see somebody's life lost. But if they're responsible for that action, well, then they have to assume that responsibility.
The other point I'd like to make, though, 2 times in my career, if one thing had gone one step further in the wrong direction, I would have shot a perpetrator.
Yeah.
And I would have been right to do it. And like almost 99% of all officers out there, I didn't want to shoot anybody, and I didn't want to shoot anybody the 2 times it almost happened.
No.
If they'd taken 1 or 2 more steps in the wrong direction, or if they'd have come up with something in their hands the one time I was down on a guy who had fired shots at us. If he had come up with something in his hand, I'd have shot him. And he didn't do that. And thank God he didn't, because that wasn't what I wanted to happen. And I guarantee you that officer didn't want to shoot that woman.
No.
I guarantee it.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
and because that's the way we all used to think. We didn't want to kill anybody. We didn't want to hurt anybody. We wanted to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you want them to go home at the end of the day, or to jail if they committed a
Exactly.
crime. But one way or another, everybody should go home. So I understand
From
it.
the way it's been described, this woman was going to jail because she's a felon. It rises to the level of a felony, most likely. And that's all they were trying to do is take control of her, and everybody goes home.
I'll tell
including
you.
her.
I'll tell you this too. Every police department, federal, state, local, all have extensive handgun training and firearm training, including scenario training. And everyone is trained regularly, not just once, but over and over again. And just put yourself in the position of, and you've been there, put yourself in the position of a law enforcement officer who's asked in a split second to make a life or death decision. It's not,
And
that's exactly what happens.
it's him or her. And if I'm the cop, it's her.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Listen, I appreciate the call. Appreciate your information.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
Thanks for
and,
your service.
Good luck arguing this one.
All right, Cam. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you, Art.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, hang on. Dan in Bay City, you'll be up next. Hang on. We'll get to you.
It's a new year and time for
Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right. Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, 1051. And we talked to Dan in Bay City. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm not sure if these agents are police, but according to the White House, they told Iran that if they killed a protester, he was locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sent a message to these ICE agents. You're locked and loaded because this was a terrorist in our country, and she should have been shot because she's a terrorist. And that was already determined before he even did it, by the sounds of it.
Well, no, listen, they're trained as to when to shoot and when not to shoot. It's part of the training. The use of lethal methods are drilled into their heads. I don't care what department you work for, what agency you work for, from the smallest police department up to the FBI. It's drilled into their heads, the use of lethal force. Every department has protocols and procedures, and you have to live by those protocols and procedures, and you have to justify it. When you take someone's life, you have to justify it. If it's justifiable, then you're fine, and if it's not justifiable, you're in trouble.
Well, there you go. So, anyway, I wouldn't trust the FBI now to even be close.
Oh,
But
I
on
would.
another
Wait.
No, come on. These guys are jokers. Cash Patel, please.
Well,
There's
I'm
other
sorry you
Johnny
feel that way,
Bonnet.
but I'm more concerned
Well,
about the agents on the street who are
So
out
am
there
I.
who are out there doing their job to protect you every day. They're not jokers.
Well, that's true. Just the leaders aren't.
Well, if you
Anyway,
you can
one
view
other-
them that way. I mean, that's fine. You have the
One
right
other-
to view them that way.
Our car sales are really not terrific. In 2001, they sold 22 million vehicles. And I remember through the years that if you hit 17 million vehicles or 16, that was a depression. So when they're touting these great sales, you got to kind of look back in history. And
Well, in terms of
you know,
numbers of
judge-
cars, but I think you also have to look at the price of the cars and what the bottom
Yeah.
line is to these manufacturers. And, they may be selling a couple of million cars less, making more money doing it.
Yeah, that's
and,
true.
and so I don't know, but I just have their numbers here from what they reported, and these